Well, my dear brothers and sisters, many times when this gospel is read, people would simply say, why is it that Jesus has commanded the dishonest steward? Why is he asking us to imitate that dishonest steward? Does he want us all to be dishonest anyway? Well, my dear brothers and sisters, this is a peculiar parable. What is there about the actions of the crooked steward that Jesus finds good and invites us to imitate? Well, to answer this question, we have to be sure that we understand this parable correctly. The manager was certainly dishonest, and he clearly squandered his master's property and was being fired because of it. But it is important also that we understand correctly what his actions were, and once his dishonesty has been found out. Now, normally, as I said, we presume that when he brought in his master's debtors and reduced their bills, that he was further cheating his master, right? Plainly, we could say, wow, he is further cheating his master because, the 100 measures of olive, he actually reduced it to only to 50. And 100 or 80 cores of kernel, he reduced it to 40, half. But this is not the case. Because in the ancient world, managers were given their income through commissions. And so when the manager in the parable reduced the debtor's bill, he was not removing his master's profit, but he was giving his own profit. He actually denied himself of the commission that he should get from the master's debtors. So his hope was that by giving back to the debtors what has his own money, they would recognize his shrewdness and generosity. Well, of course, the debtors would say, wow, how generous you are. Because, you did not get commission from what we owed from the master. You actually gave up your own. Then once he was fired, they might welcome him into their own financial operations. Well, my dear brothers and sisters, it was not a sure thing. It was a big risk for him. There was no guarantee that the debtors would respond in this way. But what is noteworthy about this dishonest manager is that he had the insight to size up his situation and realize that the only possibility for future employment and security was to give away what he presently possessed. He was playing the risk. But at least he had hope instead of no hope at all. It is in this insight that this action that Jesus commands and invites us to imitate. But because Jesus knows that if we correctly size up our present situation, we will realize that the only way to our future security is to give away some of what we possess today. And so what is our present situation? Let me state this as clearly as I can. Everything we have is a gift. Our life, our time, our relationship, our health, our money, of who we are right now are all gifts. Everything we have is a gift. And this realization should certainly lead us to thankfulness, to be grateful. But thankfulness and being grateful is not enough. Thankfulness must give way to generosity. For generosity is a sign of God's kingdom. And the person who understands God's kingdom understands that everything that we have been given has been given to us to share. It was not simply given to us for our own sake. It was given to us to share. And faithful stewardship requires giving back part of what we have been given. Why is giving back so important? Why is giving back part of what we have been given? There are two reasons. Others need it. And secondly, generosity is good for us. Well, there is no doubt that others need the things that we possess. You cannot go more than 2 feet without running into one of the many needs that exists in our world. People need our time. People need our presence. People need our money. So whenever anyone is hungry or sick or depressed, God is counting on us and on our resources to help that person. Christians know this better than anyone else because the gospel tells us that whatever we fail to do for the least of our brothers or sisters, we fail to do for Jesus. And therefore, refusing to give what we have been given is a bad idea, a poor decision on our part. Our relationship to God is connected to our generosity to others. And we give because others are in need. We don't give because we have an excess. We don't give because we are forced to do so. We give because others are in need. So we also give because generosity is good for us. That's the second thing. The deepest joy in life is giving out of love. Parents know this. Lovers know this. Sometimes we think that what is going to make us happy is to hold on to our time, to conserve our talents, and to hoard our money. Sometimes we think that the best thing for us to do is that, okay, instead of helping others or helping in the church or helping our neighbors, that, I just have to sit down here, spend my time watching TV. Or maybe I have talents to sing, or I have talents to whatever I should do, but then, I just have to conserve it myself. If I would not gain from it, then I will not let them use it. Or even hoard our money. But this is not true. Joy comes from giving freely and with love. Like, for example, hoarding money. How many famous or rich people in this world are depressed and even take their own lives because they're lonely? But they have everything. They're popular, they have money, and they have everything that they can do. So holding on to the things we have been given will not make us happy. Giving what we have been given, giving what we have away will help others and give us the deepest joy in life. So that is our present situation. That is how things stand. When the dishonest manager in the gospel saw how things stood, he did not hesitate to sacrifice his own money. He swung into action. He started giving what he had away. And we are called to follow this example as Jesus asked us in the gospel today. So this week you'll be given time. You'll be given the opportunity to use your talents and money. You could choose to hold on to all these things and use them only for yourself, but that would be a bad idea, a very poor investment. The gospel today possesses a wiser and more helpful question. It asks us this week, even today, how much of your time, how much of your talent, how much of your treasure are you willing to give away? Now I would like to call on Terry Herbst to speak to us about volunteerism in our parish ministry.